Today, I want to speak about something I don't normally speak about, and it has to do with the crisis in men in America specifically. We live in an age where men as masculine, mature adults is a rare commodity, and it's something that used to be, commonplace and actually pushed forward by society. But over the years that I've been growing up, there's been a feminization of men. I mean, even look at Bruce Jenner. I mean, geez, this guy back in the 70s and 80s was the most masculine man. He was the decathlon Olympian. And the decline of Bruce Jenner into Caitlyn Jenner is smacks in the face of something seriously wrong with this country. A demonization of masculinity in itself. I look at the PC nature of the world, where anything deemed to be masculine is considered oppressive or bad. I mean, when I went to Boston College, it was viewed as every man was a rapist almost, and it has made masculinity not a popular thing to aspire to. And what has replaced it is a bunch of Harvey Weinstein sick psychopath people who are not masculine men by any stretch of the imagination, who are predators, and they have risen to power in many places. I even look at Donald Trump. I view him as a man-child, tweeting on his toilet, cheating with on his wife with porn stars. Like, this is not a man to aspire to. This is not what you would want your son to grow up to. This is not what you would want in your father. This is not in something that you would want for your brother. The mature masculinity is a divine purpose of man. And when I look at the numbers of what is going on with men today, they're being left behind. They have no vision. They don't understand what it takes to even be a man. They wallow in their pain instead of pushing through it like all men have in the past. You could look at the opioid crisis. There's 73% of all the overdose and opiates were deaths in men. Men's life expectancy is lower than women's, mainly because of suicide. The prison population of the United States is 90% men. The education of men are falling way behind women, to the point where there's now actually efforts in colleges to recruit more men to balance out the amount of women that they have there. Between 1979 and 2010, working age men with only high school degrees saw their real hourly wages drop 20%, while you get men like Harvey Weinstein and Trump making billions of dollars off the manipulation of others, off of speculation, off of putting out digital images or digital illusions. These are the men, the cunning men, are creating a shadow society where it is now more beneficial to be a gambler than it is to be a mature masculine man. Since the 2008 financial crisis, 7 million working-age American men are no longer in the labor force. They've dropped out. A majority of them are on pain medication. This opioid crisis. You got the illegal, heroin and stuff, but there's also the prescribed pills. I know people in my own, circle of friends and family that have been addicted to these things, and it's dramatically affect their weight, their job prospects, their way of life, simply because they got prescribed pain medication that they've been hooked onto, and it has ruined their lives. And this is something that's going to get worse. This is something that, unless individuals start tapping into the power that they have within themselves, the problems are only going to get worse, because these shadow men that own and control this system, that have an antagonism towards mature masculine men, they get us involved into wars for bankers and bubbles and profits and stuff like that. The cunning men at the top, they're going to now have the ability of AI and robotics to replace the very thing that masculine men throughout all of humanity have done, which is using their labor to create wealth. And in the coming future, man is going to become even more essentially useless to this society. unless we create more mature masculine men that can take this incredible knowledge and technology and start saying, why? Why are we building all these things? To what benefit? The chief purpose of a society should be to create mature masculine men and women to live to their highest potential, to serve a higher purpose than simply making money or demolishing another country for their natural resources. We can do better. I recently watched commentary about the United States Marine Corps saying that 70% of high school aged men are physically incapable of even passing the basic qualifications of becoming, in the military. These are not big things. These are like 3 chin-ups, I think 50 sit-ups, and in like 2 minutes or something like that, running under a 10-minute mile. These are not grand things, that people shouldn't be able to do. And yet we have a society of men who are playing video games, watching porn, sedating themselves because they haven't tapped into the masculine energy that they have inside of them. And this is dangerous. There was a quote from Chesty Puller, who is one of the most famous Marine Corps generals. It said, "Our country won't go on forever. If we stay as soft as we are now," and this is back in the 50s, "there won't be any America because some foreign soldiery will invade us, take our women, and breed a hardier race." That's what used to happen. If a society got as weak as the way that our men have, somebody else comes in and, basically rapes and pillages, that society. And now we're rotting from the inside. And it shows, even in testosterone levels. A 40-year-old man in 2017 has lower testosterone levels, 30% lower than the average 40-year-old man in 1987, only 30 years ago. The sperm counts across the entire Western civilization have plummeted almost 60% since 1970. If we don't change something, we're literally going to die off. So many of these and this is another thing, so many of these false flag, banker profit wars have killed the hardier stock of our men who have gotten fooled into serving military service, much in the same way I was, who thought that, in order to become a man, and the military is an initiation process of taking boys into men, which we don't have in our society. And I'm not saying that we have to have military indoctrination of our men, but there needs to be a rite of passage of mentors and men to teach young men how to become men. And we don't have that. So what is left is we have a bunch of men who are sedating themselves, deprived of their divine purpose, or falling into the wrong crowd, whether it's the military, the gangs, or the psychopaths that are the cunning men that run on Wall Street and the tech world and Washington, D.C., places of power where psychopathic behavior of getting yours at the expense of others is encouraged. Real men don't do that. Real men are not Harvey Weinsteins. Real men are kings. They're the ones that protect those that are around them in their realm. So I did a video a couple months ago talk about 5 books every man must read. And the first book in that, and I think it's vital for individuals to establish a vision for their lives. Nobody's coming to save you from yourself. No Donald Trump, no MGTOW movement, no nothing is going to come save you from yourself. You are here for a very short period in this conscious, expanding, beautiful universe, and you have a purpose. You have divine gifts. You have, a purpose, a passion that needs to come forth through you. And until you create yourself into a strong, mature individual, you'll never realize that. So the first book I would recommend you reading is King, Warrior, Magician, Lover by Dr. Robert Moore. And this shows that that there's many different Jungian, Carl Jung brought out these archetypes inside every man and women. It's applicable to women too. That are 4 different aspects, archetypes of power that individuals need to garner, recognize, garner, and control throughout their lives. The first one is the warrior energy. This is the aggressive, assertive nature of man to go out and go do what needs to be done, to overcome obstacles, to fight in a world that isn't fair. But he cannot be singular like a musclehead or a jock or something. He has to be smart, which is where the sage energy comes through. This is the energy that we will have intellectual knowledge of a skill or trade, that you're able to make money or solve problems or think beyond your immediate needs. Then there's the lover energy that counteracts the warrior energy. This is the martial artist. This is the lover. This is the father. This is the This is the kind of love for all of humanity, and balances the aggressive nature of it is more of a passive power. And then to counteract the technical learning of the sage energy, there's the king energy. This is what taps us into the universe. This is what brings purpose and drive and divinity, to our technical aspects. I look at, all these very smart men that are involved in creating, military robots or, crypto Ponzi schemes or something like that. Where is the divine purpose of those technical achievements? And that's why I find that this world is way out of balance, because we don't have any larger purpose for what all we can do. We could create a much better world if we had more men that had divine purpose in what they're doing, and not chase after immediate, gratification needs of, saying money or materialism or consumerism. So one of the things that I feel is necessary is to create a vision. And this book, I think, is a great way for people to go, I'm not just me. I'm not just a consumer. I'm not just a son. I am a divine man. And I have powers within me that I need to work with, that I need to garner, to take notice and make stronger. And over that time period, you will become a much stronger and better man out of it. And I think having the vision, which is why I came up with this design, the King Within, takes these 4 archetypal aspects of man, the king, warrior, magician, and lover, and puts it into an image of what a divine, mature, masculine man is. Not Harvey Weinstein, not Donald Trump, but a divine, mature, masculine man. So in this design, I took the warrior energy. I put a fire sword in his hand, this, poking straight out to the side, like this is his purpose. He's aggressively pushing it out there. Right above a lion, which is probably the most powerful beast out there. He's standing on top of the Trivium stone. Trivium breaks through the idea of indoctrination, where throughout our school, we're told to certain facts, and we're told to regurgitate them on tests, and that's supposedly how a smart man is, and that's not true. A smart man questions with logic. So with grammar, logic, and rhetoric of the Trivium, you're able to break through the indoctrination, break through the propaganda of the Harvey Weinsteins and, the fake news and all this other stuff out there that's made to distract you onto the outside world that they manipulate with their illusions from the real things that you can control. Your power is from within, not ever doing anything that you can't control on the outside, in the realm that they work in. To balance that warrior energy of the sword, I have him holding a heart next to the tree of life. This is a balance for the aggressive nature of what man is. Aggressive nature untamed becomes psychopathic, but a balanced divine purpose becomes a martial artist. And then the last symbolic imagery that I put on this design is a raised crown above his head, superimposed over a radiant sun that connects him to the universe, that his king energy is above him and through him. So this design will only be available for 3 more days at goldenstatemint.com. It'll never be made again. It comes with a certificate of authenticity, and I think it's a great image to wake up the divine man in all of us. Thank you.